Hi friends, welcome to my live broadcast. So I've decided to try and commit to doing these more regularly, and it's been a while since I've made a video. I've been on holiday and busy with a few other things, but now I hope to make this a regular thing, so I hope you can join me. I haven't set a regular time yet, but I'll let you know, so stay tuned. So first I just want to talk about my work, and this is my personal work, my sort of mission to help people grow spiritually, to find peace, and mainly doing that through what I call transcending the conceptual. So we're often, buzzing with ideas and things in our heads which we don't really see, all this thinking going through our minds, and like how do we get back to using that as a tool, being free from it, rather than it kind of constantly consuming our mind and our energy, and sort of shifting our lives in ways which are not so wise without us really seeing it. So it's really about, transcending these thoughts and ideas, getting back to the direct experience rather than mediated through a whole lot of thinking and contriving and scheming, which we often just do habitually without seeing it. And yeah, I mean, that might resonate with you. It might also, for a lot of people, that might not sound very useful. They might have more problems in their mind, but that's kind of the whole point of all this. It's really being able to see that a lot of those problems may not be as big as you think, and when we can sort of let go of them and see them for what they are, we can often be a lot more effective, because suddenly we have a whole lot of energy. We don't waste our time just worrying about it. We can actually do something. So it's an incredibly useful thing to be able to calm the mind, to find peace, to see things more clearly and directly rather than through all these confusions. So I hope that resonates with you and you kind of see the importance of all this. And I guess another reason why I like to share this with you guys, not as a business or anything like that, but just truly sharing it with the world, is that I feel the internal life that we have, our thoughts and our intentions and our true intentions going on in our minds, this is what really shapes the external world as well, because the internal and the external world are really, we're just drawing that line in our minds, but really it's the same thing. So that the outside reflects the inside. So I like to see people grow from within, and I feel by doing this, it really makes the world a better place. And so a lot of what I do is meditation, or I, help people do guided meditations for people to help them find that, or sort of fine tune or exercise or strengthen that ability to calm themselves and bring them peace. But then also, when you think about it, meditation isn't something that exists in isolation. So when you meditate, you become calmer, and then that affects things in your actual life. You suddenly stop doing things which maybe were detrimental because you see them for what they are. You don't need them anymore. You let go of them. And then you start doing wiser things and, helping others and doing all these things naturally, rather than because you think you have to do them because they're good to do. So in other words, meditation feeds into your lifestyle and your morality in a way. And then that lifestyle and morality also feeds into your meditation, brings you even more peace, because you find that it's easier to meditate without all these things and stuff in your head, because you're being a better person. You've got less to worry about, and your lifestyle is just easier. There's less obstacles in it. So, and then also from this meditation, you also gain wisdom. So instead of perhaps foolish ideas and behavior going in your head, you start to get wiser ideas and things that really do help yourself in the long run. And this kind of wisdom or insight just comes out from within. It's not necessarily something that someone has to tell you. If you've ever wondered why, if somebody says something very wise, for some reason everyone knows it's wise, it's almost like they've heard it before. Sometimes people call this like, oh, that person's not wise. They're just saying a bunch of obvious stuff. Well, that's the whole point of something that's wise. It's often very obvious. The reason it's obvious is because there's something inside of all of us that already knows everything. It knows all of the wisdom in the world, all the secrets of the world. And that's why when somebody says something wise, we recognize it pretty easily. You know, it's one of the easiest things to recognize. Someone says something wise, you say, oh, that's wise. And how do you know it's wise? It's because you already know it inside. The reason why you don't always act from it is because of delusions and confusion and all this conditioning that's built up, and it's obscuring the wisdom that you already have. So the point with meditation is it brings out this inner wisdom that you already have. You don't necessarily have to read a bunch of books to get wise. It's already there, and meditation will just bring it out and take away everything that's obscuring it. So anyway, these three things, wisdom, lifestyle or morality, if you want to call it that, and wisdom, meditation, wisdom, and lifestyle, they all feed into each other and strengthen each other. So in this channel, I talk about all of those three things, not just meditation, because they all feed into each other. Yeah, so that's kind of my intention. I hope that wasn't too long-winded, but that's just me talking about it spontaneously. And I also want to talk about my intention with these live streams specifically. So as I mentioned, I want to do them more regularly, and I want to sort of be more spontaneous, not so scripted in these live streams compared to some of my other videos, which I'll sort of write out a outline of them and speak to that. So some of these live videos will be guided meditations. Other ones will be a bit more open format, like what I'm doing here. And just seeing what comes up for me, also seeing what comes up for you guys, you know, hopefully having some interaction from you guys. And yeah, making it a bit more, what would you call this, like kind of experiential as well. So of course there's guided meditations on the one hand, and then there's also these kind of experiential exercises is what I call it. Things like just like exploring the mind, what's going on up in there, and seeing how clearly we can start to see things and seeing what happens when we do that. So those kinds of experiential kind of exercises that I can go do with you guys in real time. It's kind of interesting. So that's just my intentions right now. I mean, all of this is a work in progress, constantly changing, open to suggestions, feedback about what you really liked. So just let me know and follow along, and hopefully we all grow together. So this first live stream is a bit of an experiment, also working out the technical parts like the camera and the audio and stuff, so hopefully everything's working well. So I guess a few things I can talk about in this live stream. One thing that came up for me this week, actually, I was talking to some friends about this earlier, is just about mild kind of concerns or worries eating away at the mind. They've been there for so long you don't even see them anymore, but they're kind of there, and you know, you feel tired or you feel a little bit agitated or restless, and you just go for the nearest thing that you normally do, eat something, or you know, you start playing into your neuroses a bit more, because there's all these little worries in your mind which you may not normally see. So this week I was, you know, I do meditation regularly, so I guess unlike a lot of people, I tend to catch these little things more easily, and that's one of the huge benefits of meditation. A lot of people start it because they just want to find a way to relax, you know, they just want to continue with their hectic lifestyle and they just need something to take the edge off it. But then people who really get into it and really get real benefits from meditation are the ones who use it for something a bit more powerful than that, which is to start to really see these little things in the mind and start to address them, start to make subtle changes to the lifestyle, all that rushing around, and like I said, all those things feed into each other: meditation, lifestyle, and wisdom. And the people who actually take all of those three aspects together and work on them are the ones who get huge, life-changing benefit, on that path to enlightenment, from just, rather than people who just treat meditation as this thing to just relax or take the edge off their maybe not so wise lifestyle. So anyway, by making this a practice, I have noticed a few things that sort of worries in my mind. And I did this little exercise this week, just by myself, where I kind of look for the concern or the worry. So I have this worry in my mind. I try to really, really look closely at it, try to really find it. Where is it? Where is this worry? Once I sort of see that it's there, it's like, oh yeah, I'm sort of slightly concerned about this thing. So I'm going to try and look more and more closely at it, and what is the texture of it? What is it really made out of? And really, really look at it directly and clearly, but without making it into another concept or making any concepts about it. Just like trying to look for that worry experientially only. So without making it into without saying it's good or bad, or like how am I going to solve it, or what is the cause of it, or any ideas about it, but just trying to look for it. See if you can really find it. Like, is it really there? Is that concern? What is it? Is it solid? Is it real? Is it anything more than just a thought in your head that you are personally creating? Just really have a think about that. Is there anything to it beyond that? Maybe there is. Maybe you find something. Maybe you can say, oh, here's a thing I can point to. Maybe your concern is there's a lion chasing you, for example. And then you can say, well, yes, it's a big worry. There's the lion right there and it's chasing me. Well, okay, then you can say that there's a real concern there. But when you look at our sort of milder worries, try and find a mild worry that's in your mind that's sort of eating away, been there for a while. Maybe it's, whatever it is, some concern about what somebody's going to say, or perhaps something you feel obliged to do, something that, even a mild concern that you get from your own desires. This is something we often don't see, but like our own desires, we can become a slave to them. And, we can be like, oh, I need this thing, I need that thing. How am I going to get it? This is a real thing that can eat away at people's heads without them knowing it. Have a look at that desire. Why do you have it? Without making that into an idea, just look for it. See if you can find it. How solid is it? Is it real? And what you often find with quite a lot of these worries, some of them you might find something solid to point to, but quite a lot of them you'll see that there's nothing to them except ideas. Ideas which were created by nobody except yourself or your imagined self. So just exploring this, getting to, is there really something to these concerns? Can I let them go? Can I just see them for what they are, which is just completely empty and non-existent beyond a concept, beyond a string of words in my head, which I've created myself? And in that case, perhaps I should just drop them. They're not really serving me. It's kind of pointless. Just letting them go, seeing them for what they are, taking the edge off them. It's a big deal, you know. Taking the edge off these concerns gives us the energy to actually deal with them and not just procrastinate or play into our own neuroses, start eating chocolate cake, or, you know, start trying to control everything, trying to be petty or greedy. All these neuroses start to come up when we're concerned. So taking away the concern takes away all those things, and then we can deal with the so-called problem in the most efficient way and effective way, the wisest way. So hopefully that's given you some ideas about whenever you feel concerned about something, or through meditation you might start to see some concerns in your own mind, and what can you do about them, or, you know, what can you start doing about them. Perhaps start by seeing them for what they are, looking as closely as you can at them, see if you can really find them. Are they really there? Do they really exist? Without making them into another concept. And if you do find that they're made of nothing but concepts, they're just completely empty, then perhaps consider whether they're serving you, whether you should just let them go, see them for what they are. They're processed, they're gone. You can work on the real problems, at least the ones that you feel strongly about. At some point, you may find that actually there are no problems. There never were. But until then, we keep walking the path, we be honest, we learn from all the little things that come up. We heal the inside and we heal the outside as well as each other. So thanks for joining me for this live stream, and hope you all have a great day or evening, and I'll catch